everyone. Welcome to Megh Computing and an overview of the VAS portal dashboard. As you can see, there's a lot of functionality here within the portal dashboard. However, today's focus will be on a high-level overview. You'll find additional videos with more detail in specific areas like enrolling sites, adding cameras or sensors, selecting analytics and threshold settings and notifications on additional videos at megh.com. As you'll see here, once logged into the portal dashboard, a customer's name will be listed up in this top area here. Additional customers can be enrolled by selecting the Add Customer buttons, and detailed listing for name, location is contained there as well. Once a customer is selected, all the data for that particular customer is then housed in the dashboard. As you can see, quite a selection of icons here for functionality. This core dashboard is where you will enroll sites, add cameras, select analytics, set threshold settings, set notification settings, and manage any customer portal dashboard users and their associated authority levels. The first icon here is sites, right? Once you select the sites icon, you'll see that up comes a list of all sites underneath that particular customer heading. And again, you'll see the icon buttons at the top of the screens for adding additional sites, which we'll review in a previous or future demo. When you look at this table view, you'll see all of the site locations in kind of a table grid format. This will include nice summary information, name of the locations, any analytics that are active for those sites, numbers of devices that are connected, event activity and notifications, camera health check. You'll notice that there's cameras down on our demo site here, so this is a good example of the health check example. And then, of course, the ability to go out to cameras on those sites, which we'll do in a moment. Selecting the cards icon over here to the right then switches to kind of this icon view of all of those sites. This is nice if you have an isolation monitor set up in an office that shows all of the sites, again, that shows each of the sites, their health check status, and if you select any of those sites, you can go right from there into the site summary location. That's going to show you both map locations, a summary of the cameras and analytics selected, and again, that data for that particular site. So pretty comprehensive list of site information. Once you're on the site, whether you're doing it through icons or the table view, when you select camera view, as you saw on this last one, it will take you to the cameras for that particular site. And then in that listing of cameras, you'll note that this is where the analytics are shown. So for those analytics that are active, that have been selected for those cameras, you'll see them populate here. In this case, intrusion on this camera for the kitchen entrance, as well as the loitering detection. And over here, you can see attendance tracking, that we're using, and also an intrusion, really for demo purposes. But you see how you can go in and then see the camera view. Clicking on that camera view then will take you into a deeper penetration of that view. So this is where you get quite a nice summary of the camera activity. You see the camera view, you see the memory timeline to the right, and then down below a summary of the analytic and threshold settings that are set for that particular camera. So quite a bit of functionality here in this camera settings. Again, I can also go to the History tab, which will show me, if I select on that any point in time, any of the event activity associated with that particular event. This is also the screen where alert configurations, and we'll go into this later, when an analytic is selected, this is where we go in and edit threshold settings for events. We set the notification of those particular events. We can search notification history for any events for that particular camera. And then, of course, we can schedule around the days and times that we want this analytic to be active, right? Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., 24 hours on weekends as an example. And then lastly, there's a diagnostics icon that gives us a sense for how many frames per second the camera's operating at and what level of performance is taking place out of the camera. So pretty good summary at the sites view. If we go back to the main dashboard, we can also see that if I want to see now more than just one camera, selecting camera view brings up cameras with all of the site locations now across the top toolbar. So now I can go into any of the locations for this particular customer and see this same view, right? So I can go into the downtown location, I can see the cameras again, I can see the individual analytics that are selected. I can click on that camera screen, and you can then penetrate into the actual camera settings, the analytic and threshold settings. This is also when I'm at this kind of summary view for that site and device, I can add analytics from this particular screen by selecting the Add Analytics plus sign. I can then go into the camera, a selection of use case analytics. If I was to go into physical security, physical safety, and we wanted to go into people occupancy for crowd management, I could select that, and then the analytic would populate. I create my detection zone, and then activate that analytic. You'll be able to see more detail on that in the commissioning cameras and analytics video at Megh.com. So you can see this by going to, again, any location. Here's an example of PPE in the warehouse location. So good example of the camera kind of transic view. The next icon is the analytic view. So here, when we select the analytic view, this displays any analytics that are currently deployed across all sites for this customer. In this case, you can see the physical security analytics, the worker safety, operational efficiency, and traffic management. A lot of analytics for this customer deployed for demo purposes. But if we were to select an analytic such as loitering, all cameras across that customer that have that analytic selected then come to the screen. And again, once those camera views are at the screen, I can again select that camera, and when I do, it penetrates directly into that camera screen, giving you the summary of the analytic and access to all of the alert configurations. So pretty good capabilities there. This is also the screen that gives you the listing of additional analytics to select from in their groupings. So you can see the physical security, worker safety, inventory management, operational efficiency, and traffic management analytic use cases to apply to any applicable camera. The next icon is the map view. This simply gives you a higher level look at your sites, whether those are within a city, within a state, province, region, country. And you can see that, again, a nice image capabilities. If I've got this, again, on an isolation monitor, I can have all of my locations up on a map that's highlighted. I can also see any of those, and I can go immediately to a camera view by just clicking on the icon from the map. So nice capabilities there. The rest of these screens then are related to deploying cameras, managing, and then managing users for the dashboard. Deployment icon, as an example, is again, there are multiple ways to accomplish any kind of task, just like in Windows. I can add a customer from the main screen, or I can come in and do that here by selecting the customer icon. I can do the same thing by adding a site. I do that at the site page, or I can do it here in the deployment screen. And I can also select the device for bulk uploading of devices, cameras, or sensors. So it gives you good capability there. The next two are around alerts and notification. If I wanted to take a look at the alert settings across multiple cameras, this is the icon that you would go into to select the appropriate site and then be selecting the use case that is in place at that particular location, and then I can check and also edit any alert settings for an analytic. Notifications then, same thing, but on the notification side, if I want to set or confirm notifications that are in place or check any previous notifications history of event activity, I click on that notification and I can select any site location, and then I can go in and look at any particular event activity that has occurred from that particular site. So it gives you a nice capability to do that across multiple sites. The settings tab is where all the programming is done for email-based settings for SMTP, for SMS or text-based notifications, for direct integration to any customer applications. It's also where role privileges when setting up users for the dashboard for others or end users is done, and gives you an overview of those, and then backup and restore capabilities. And then next, of course, is the listing of users that would have been created for that particular sites. And then the last two icons are for reports and trace logs. So reports, if I want to see any activity from a site and create a report, I go in and I select that particular location. I can check my start and stop date. It will then let me know any event activity from those devices, and also I can download that in an Excel format. Trace logs then, same thing. It's really around event and transaction activity. This is for users and managers of the dashboard. So I can trace or follow transactions by user, by filtering type for any commands. So I want to see what changes have been taking place in the dashboard. And then lastly, the support icon for creating any help tickets are right here that takes you right to Megh.com. So quite a bit of capability here with the Megh VAS portal dashboard. Again, go to Megh.com for additional information for commissioning videos, analytic videos, alert videos will all be at Megh.com. You'll also find a good listing of additional resources around use case libraries, information for smart buildings, smart cities, smart factories, overview of open analytics, and of course quite a bit of information, technical information in our blog setting. So hopefully you found that valuable today. And for more information, please visit us at Megh.com. Have a great day, everyone.